Hey everyone, Cozy Girl Summer here, and welcome back to yet another video. So, in response to one of the comments of my last video, someone asked if I could really talk about my personal opinions on how much EA is charging for stuff packs, expansion packs, game packs, all that fun stuff. So they just asked, what do I feel about it? How do I feel about it? What do I think about it? All that stuff. And so just something to keep in mind, this is how I feel about it. Granted, you feel how you feel about it, but it's one of those things that we all feel differently about the situation at hand. Now, one of the flip sides I'm going to hear from this is that, you don't have to pay for all of this stuff. You don't have to pay for every single last expansion pack. You don't have to do X, Y, and Z. And again, I hear you. I honestly hear your opinion on this. I'm not saying that it's wrong. You feel how you feel, and sometimes I'm the same way. I'm like, you don't have to do this, you don't have to do this, and I hear you on that. Trust me, I do. And then I understand the flip side of it and saying that, well, to an extent, you kind of have to because of this, and this. And I kind of want to go back to the word I said in my last video, which was FOMO, which is the idea of fear of missing out. And I sometimes feel like this gets a lot of people. I understand that there's the idea of wanting to experience this because you might see your favorite YouTuber playing with this new expansion pack or game pack or stuff pack. Who knows? It could be anything. You might see them playing with this and you're sitting there and you're like, oh, I want to try this out, but I don't want to spend the $40, for the expansion pack or the $20 for the game pack, or I want to say kits are like $10. You don't want to spend that amount of money just to play with simple objects, especially if you're using that money somewhere else in your life to pay for something else. So I hear both sides of this. I hear devil's advocate. That is where I'm at right now, is devil's advocate, because I hear both sides of the argument and understanding where people are coming from with it. Now, as I am making this video, everything currently in the EA app is on sale for 90% or more, making expansion packs for The Sims 4 probably about $32. Stuff packs I believe are $10, and I believe game packs, if I am not mistaken, I am currently making sure I'm right on this, game packs are probably about $12 or so, depending. These all can have various prices and where they range on things. So that's just as of right now. Now granted, another issue I kind of have with this, and this is just a minute one, but it's because I love The Sims 3, I love playing it, is the idea that even after the sale is over, The Sims 3 will still be $20. There will be expansion packs that are $20, stuff packs that are $20 for The Sims 3. Granted, it's on sale right now for $10. So, if you like The Sims 3 and you want to go play it, you can go buy it. But even then, I kind of have an issue with that because The Sims 3 is a beyond 10-year-old game, and we're getting really to that point now where it's just like, why is it still as high price as it is? Why can I still not find or have access to a certain stuff pack or a certain edition of this? Now granted, you have people who buy stuff and there's the edition of it, which I want to say it was Showtime in particular is what I'm thinking of, where it was the Katy Perry version of it, and that's a special case of that. So realistically, they don't have to bring that back. But I do have a problem in the fact that I can't complete my Sims 3 collection without pirating this stuff pack, and that being Katy Perry Sweet Treats. Now granted, do I need it? No. Do I want it? Yeah, because I just want to complete my Sims 3 collection and have an official copy of it. Just because I feel like the pirating system in The Sims, for The Sims 3 versus The Sims 4, is a lot more complex to me, and so I get a little scared about doing it, so I don't really do it. I've only pirated Katy Perry Sweet Treats once, and I didn't want to mess with it again. I ended up taking it out and having to kind of go back and change a lot of settings after I took it out. So that's why I'm I stay away from pirating for The Sims 3, but for The Sims 4, I know that quite a few people pirate the game, so hearing these price range, when knowing that a lot of us pirate the game, it's it is what it is, and I understand that, so I don't have a problem with that. You do what you gotta do to survive. But I feel as if expansion packs, stuff packs, and game packs, when we know how many of them there are for The Sims 4, should not be as high as they are, especially if you're someone who doesn't really trust pirating, because there are people out there who don't really truly trust the logic or the experiencing, I don't know what word I want to say, just they don't really trust pirating. And in all fairness, I get it, I understand it, because you don't want to accidentally corrupt your computer or your hard drives or anything like that. So it's like one of those things. I get it, I understand. And then for the people who I believe are Mac users, they can't even pirate the game, so they are being forced to pay with all this. Now, as of making this, I'm not really even sure if there is a way to get the Sims 4, and what I mean by that, get the Sims 4 and all of its expansion packs, kits, and all that at a good, reasonable way for the Mac users. I'm not sure. So if there is, help a friend if you do know that that is the case. But even then, I'm really thinking about the Mac users who have to pay all of these prices for these game packs, stuff packs, expansion packs, and kits. And it's the idea of they don't want to miss out. You will have EA make new trailers and whatnot, and they're doing their jobs by marketing us to want these expansion packs and stuff packs and all that. They are doing their job. That's their job. They're supposed to market their game so that people will buy it and will play it. That's what they're supposed to do. But I will never forgive them for doing, was it my first pet? Let me find the exact name of this one, because I swear on everything I love, it's like my first pet. It's the one kit, if I'm not mistaken, where it was just like stuff that could have been, I kid you not, could have been in Sims 3 cats and dogs, no, Sims 4 cats and dogs. And yes, there it is. I just found it. It's the Sims 4 my first pet stuff. I will never forgive EA for that. That is something I will never forgive them for. And it's purely because of the fact of there's some of these kits, game packs, and whatnot that could have been paired together, but they're separating them out to get more money off of that. So, I mean, again, you can agree with me, you can disagree with me on that, but there are certain ones that I can tell that they are purposely expanding out so that they can get more money off of that. And if I'm not mistaken, there is a graphic online, and if I can find it, I will put it in the video, where someone was explaining how you have, even if you go into the EA app to make it make sense, you have certain bundles that they'll tell you to get. And two of the ones that I'm like, you could definitely probably all put together. You could definitely probably put cottage living, cats and dogs, and my first pet stuff all together and make it make sense. And that could have actually been one EP rather than it being 2 expansion packs and a stuff pack in there. You have my wedding stories, high school years, growing up together, and then I want to say there's one more. It's like the kids stuff pack, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember the name of it, but all those could have been together to make something similar to what the Sims 3 Generations is. I guess what I'm trying to get at and trying to say and trying to really hone in on is the fact that it's the idea that EA is separating a lot of the stuff that could all be culminated into one thing and be charged at one price, rather than it being 4 separate things and charged at 4 separate different prices. So it's one of those things that I've kind of seen people in the past mention that they don't like the fact that you have to get all this stuff just to have the experience of one thing. And now granted, you have people out there who think that some of these expansion packs are very lackluster and that they don't really have anything to add it on for the game for it to really exist or stuff like that. It's just one of those things that I guess I'm looking at it and I'm really trying to understand, why make it separate transactions? Why not just make it one and we can all have the experience in one expansion pack, and it can be loved by all and adored by all. And even then, kind of thinking about Life and Death being the new expansion pack that's recently just been released, you could have paired that on with the ones where I was talking about that generation aspect, because I feel like that goes in with it. So again, you're separating all this stuff to charge, if you have 2-3 expansion packs in there, that's $40 for each of them, plus the stuff packs, plus the game packs, everything that goes into it. At the end of the day, it's going to run you a pretty penny. And again, I understand you're going to hear people say, You know, you don't have to buy it. And again, I understand that argument. I do. And you have people who are like, I want to buy it because I want to have the experience of that. And again, I understand that argument as well. So again, I understand both sides to it, but I just wish EA would make changes to where it is not a constant back and forth. I mean, we all know, right, as of right now, that The Sims 5 is not happening, and that The Sims 4 will continue to get updates and new gameplay mechanic features added to it and stuff like that. So it's just something to keep in mind and just understand, you know, where EA is at with all this. Also, there's like a tad or a little bit more I want to add to this argument that I'm like thinking about now, or I guess not really argument, I guess discussion that I'm thinking about now that just popped on my brain. But if you guys remember, we've had I would say a couple like major free updates for the game. Those being, actually, now I'm thinking about it, hold on, we've had quite a few, because you had pools not directly added in the game. When it first came out, pools came with it, and then guess what, there was a stuff pack that tied along with it that they charged you for. So you got the free updates for pool, then you had My Backyard stuff, which was supposed to be a continuation of the pools to add to your backyard. Then you also had the free update for toddlers, and what did you have right after that? You had another stuff pack for toddler stuff to add and come with that. And then one of the like last kind of prominent free updates that we got was the infant update. And what did EA tag along with that? They added growing up, and that's, I want to say it's growing up or growing together. Can't remember the name of the expansion pack off the top of my head. There's just so many of them. But think about it. They have given us free updates. However, they have added, in comparison to those free updates, paid stuff packs and expansion packs and game packs that you have to buy to get the full experience. I remember when Infants came out, because that wasn't that long ago, I want to say that was this year, when Infants came out, and people were like, oh, I love it. I love that Infants are in the base game. We just play with them. However, the amount of content that was added for just the base game version update of the Infants was not that much. I remember someone on Tumblr really going in on this and talking about this and saying that, like, you know, I guess I have to buy the expansion pack now because there's just not enough here for this life stage that's new, we want to play with. There's just nothing for it. So like the milestones and all that stuff that infants can get from, like, you know, taking their first steps and all that, you had to buy the expansion pack that in a sense came with the update to get that immersion of what was going on in your household. I remember that. I don't know why that slipped my mind, but I directly remember that being a problem this year. I remember that. So again, adding this onto my argument, it goes back to the fact of EA will give us free updates, but what they will do and can, like, you know, and tag along with that is give us stuff we have to pay for, whether that be expansion packs, stuff packs, kids, game packs, all that stuff. They will give us stuff with that we have to pay for to get the full experience of what we are getting out of the base game update. I mean, thank God they didn't do a free update for pets, because who knows what that would have turned into between the expansion pack and the the stuff pack that came with it. So just think about that, keep that in mind. But with that being said, I hope that you guys all have an amazing day, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now, everyone.